Hello beautiful, welcome to my channel. My name is Joni and I'm so happy to have you here because if you read the thumbnail or the description, it says belly dance 50 plus. Yes, I'm 51 and it's been put upon my heart to dedicate a series for women over 50. Now the reason is because I hear a lot of women saying, oh, I'm too old for this, and when they say they're 50 or even 49 or and some they're 35 and they say they're too old. No, there's no, there's, I just go nuts when I hear that because I don't feel old. I never do when I dance. I always feel youthful. And when I listen to this music, so a lot of people have a hard time believing that, there's no way that I'm 50 and that I'm a grandmother. And I'm like, I am. And my secret is music and dance. It is. It always, for me, when I started belly dancing in my mid-30s, it did something to me. I suffered depression. I did feel old when I was in my mid-30s before discovering belly dancing because, I don't know, I was just very stagnant, having a sedentary job. I wasn't moving as much and yeah, I fell into major depression. So of course I felt old. But now, since I've been doing belly dancing for several years, I feel like I'm rejuvenating or reversing. And every year I feel younger and younger. So I just wanted to create this special series and it's going to be something that if you would go to class is what I'd be teaching you, how to go from point A to point B in this beautiful art form. So get into something comfortable and come and learn to belly dance with me and get young with me. So before we start, I want you to just relax your jaw, soften your knees a little bit. We're going to go into a nice deep breath in. Breathe out from the belly. Shoulders all the way up and down. Bounce the knees. We're going to warm up the body. Soften the knees forward and back. Now I want you to put your hands on the buttocks. And I want you to feel a nice heaviness into the pelvis area. And I want you to feel the pelvic drop, the pelvis drop down as you bend the knees. So it's kind of tuck and release, tuck and release, tuck and release. So we just want to loosen up the pelvis. Keep going. We're going to bring the right foot out. Bring it in. Left foot out to the side. Keep going with the pelvis. Down and release. Drop, drop, drop. Soften the knees, bouncing the knees forward and back. Bring it in. Okay, so I want you to kind of keep with the bounce. We're going to bring right heel off the floor, right, and then bring it in left, right, but let's bounce, right, left. So you're still doing this, but then you're adding a heel lift, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Going. Okay, so now we're going to keep warming up the leg, but now let's go into your toes. You're going to point and flex. We're going to warm up the ankle. Point and flex. So point, heel, touch the toes, now the heel. And switch. One more. Good. Hands on the knees, circle. Circle the knees. You're going to feel a nice little stretch in the ankles. Switch the other way. And shake it out. Good. Now we're going to go into a shoulder lift and drop. 8 times. Up, down, up, down. 4, a bit faster. And good. Bounce the knees one more time. Now let's bring the right foot, bring it out. Bring it in. Left, out. Swing those arms. Bring it in. 2 counts out. 1, 2, bring it in. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, bring it in. 1, 2, nice single. Out, bring it in and out. Bring it in. Bounce, bounce. Out, in, out, in. Good. All right, so now I'm going to stretch it out. First, we're going to do a decompression spinal stretch. I love this stretch. It really, really helps me to kind of just stretch my whole back, my upper and lower belly. So it comes from a hinge. So you want to bring your feet about shoulder width apart, or just maybe a little bit more. You're going to soften the knees. So as you soften the knees, I want you to hinge the pelvis back. Okay, now I want you to draw with your thumb all the way, draw a beautiful line to the side of the body. Elbows goes up first, and then go forward. All the way up, just like a unicorn. You're gonna aim forward. So fingertips together, make a globe. And now I want you to bring your tailbone as far back, and as you're doing this, I want you to keep your hands there. Tailbone back. I want you to breathe in and expand through the lungs. And when you're breathing in, not just here, but I want you to breathe in the back. Okay, the lungs goes also towards the back, so breathe in. Expand the back, expand here to the front, all the directions, and then breathe off the belly. Let's do 3 of these. Expand, hold the expansion, and breathe out from the belly. Contract the belly. Hold the expansion in your lungs, expand. And breathe out. One more. Expand. Oh, I can feel that stretch. Nice. Belly contract. Bend the knees, hands on your shins. I want you to bring your back as a tabletop, nice and straight. Try to bring your knees back. You're going to feel this in your hamstring. The head is aligned with the spine. Now I want you to bend the knees. Okay, and then just bring your tailbone up to the ceiling as you bring your knees towards the back. Okay, just be comfortable, and if it's too tight, don't go as far down. Bend the knees, bring yourself up, take your time, roll 1 vertebrae at a time, contract the belly. As you're going up, good. We're going to bring the hands on the elbows. We're going to do a nice little rib cage circle. Bring it to the right. To the front just a little bit, to the left. Just a small rib cage circle. Switch the other way. All right. We're going to bring our ear to our right. We're going to release all the tension to your left side. I want you to relax the jaw. Now I want you to look down. Just release all the tension. Nice stretch. Chin down, roll it down, breathe behind your neck, and as you breathe behind your neck, I want you to kind of bring it closer, your chin closer to the clavicle, to your chest. Again, breathe in, try to bring your chin closer to your chest, and bring it up nice and slow, other side. Jaw is relaxed, ear to your shoulder, try to release the tension on your right side. Look down. Breathe into the stretch. Let go of all unwanted negative feeling. And then breathe, going down, relax. Bring your chin closer to your clavicle. As you breathe out, again, breathe in, breathe out. And all the way up. Look over your right shoulder as far as you can. And bring it over nice and slow. Take your time. Cross over to the left. And bring it in. I'm going to bring our feet closer together. We're going to just stretch our oblique muscles and the hips. So start with your right. You can bring your hand behind your head. Now bring it all the way up. Try to reach as high as you can. Now I want you to bend your right knee. Bring that hip down. Knee goes down as far forward and that hip goes down as far down. I want you to look the opposite. So look to your left side. And release. I'm going to start this side. First the arm. Try to go as high as you can. Feel a nice stretch to the side. Bend the left knee. So knee goes forward, forward, forward. As this hip goes down, 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 down. Feel a nice stretch. We're going to look down to the opposite side, to the right, and hold. You can reach even more if you want to. Bring your fingertips up to the ceiling. And pull in. Now our feet. I want you to feel the feet sensing. So I want you to go and kind of roll and feel the weight going outside edge of your feet. Okay, you're going to feel the knee. You're going to feel the muscles on your thighs on the side here, and then you're going to bring it in. Now switch to weight sensing where you're feeling the roll inside of the feet, inside edge of the feet. And now flat, so it should be on the arch. I want you to feel the arch, maybe pull we'll call it 3-point, where you feel the 2 points or the ball of your feet, that big toe and the small toe. There's 2 points there, and then you got the heel, okay? So I want you kind of, I guess go like this, and I want you to kind of pull the arch up with those 3 points. 2 in front, the back, pull up, and then release. Pull up, kind of making a nice arch, and then release. Good. Roll in, you might cramp, that's normal, and then roll out. Flex the toes up, even your fingers, bring it down, and release. Good. Now that we are done with the warm-up, let's go into the tutorial of this beautiful art form. We're going to start with the footwork. A lot of times the belly dancing will go on releve. Now if you have a hard time to go on the ball of your feet, you can stay flat foot. Okay? It's not mandatory. So we're going to go do some exercise. So we are going to go flat foot to releve. When you go on releve, you're going to kind of bend the knees forward, and then it's really the calves that's pulling the heel off the floor as the knee goes forward. Okay? I always kind of focus my center of balance. It's still always on the arch, but when it comes to the ball of the feet, I'm always thinking inward. Inward. Okay? Not outside. Because it makes it too wobbly and see, I lose the balance. So releve, bring the heels up, and focus mostly towards the ball of the feet, towards the big toes. Okay? So when we walk, we're only going to flex the foot. We're not doing this. The heel stays anchored, and then you lift the toes. All right. Now again, if this is too hard, you could just stay flat foot. Okay? And releve. Flex the toes up and down. The heel stays anchored. You can walk with this. Okay? So in belly dancing, there's 2 basic positions that we do that's really important, and you'll see it in every dancer. It's the basic position, which is just this. Let's do basic pose. And then you got the classical where one heel is off the floor and the other one is flat. Okay? So basic, we like to put our arms out to the side or frame the beautiful hips. Notice they're not just drooping like this. The elbows are out to the side. And then the hand, if you put your hand on your buttocks, there's a cup that's happening. You know, it kind of cups. So you want to keep that so that it's not just straight or droopy. So I also pretend that I'm holding a hamster. Okay, so you're cupping your hands when you bring it here. And the elbows is not locked, it's kind of pulled back towards the side. So you got your basic position. So when we go basic, you're going to pretend that you have an orange underneath your armpit. You're not going like this or like this. It's not as pretty. Extend like beautiful angel wings. Okay, now when we go classical, which is one heel off the floor, that's all it is. So the weight will be on the flat foot, about 90%, and then 10% on the ball of the other foot. Okay, so your right foot, the heel is off the floor, 10% of weight, and then 90% on this one. But you always want to keep yourself centered. Now, if you want to soften the knee, the standing leg, go ahead. So you're kind of sitting on a high stool. And then we're going to switch. Okay, a little flex in the knees. Good. Now, the arms, you could go like this, but the classical pose is wherever that standing leg is, it's easier to kind of just bring that arm straight up. So you have a nice straight line here. And the other one to the side. Go basic pose. Classical. Left leg's going to be straight, so the left arm's going to go up. And there you go. The two most important pose in belly dancing. All right. Now, our first shape movement will be our lift and drops. Let's start with the lifts. Basic pose. Arms out, pretend you have the orange. Now my fingers, I always kind of put my fingers, they're soft and relaxed. We'll do a lot of hand movement later, but they're soft and relaxed. They're not droopy. I always point my energy out, not down or up. It's out to the side. Okay, so my two fingers I usually are down a bit more and the other ones are up. Okay, so it's like holding an hourglass or a wine glass like this, but then open it up a little bit more. All right, now the lift and drop. In order to lift the hip in our basic pose position, you need to start with a nice little drop first. And usually when you do a movement, it's always kind of the opposite first. So the opposite will be a drop. Now if you want to lift that, it's easier. But notice something, when you're dropping that hip, the other one is already kind of lifted. Okay, so now we're going to bring that right hip up. So we're going to focus only on the right for now. Okay, so we're going to go, the counts will be and, you drop, the lift is the counts. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to switch. You notice I'm not doing, most of the muscle work is coming from the obliques and the knee action. So soften that left knee, bring it up. As you bring that up, the hip goes back to neutral. So it's kind of, this is your kind of your neutral position. Now talking about neutral pelvis. You know, at the beginning we're doing the exercise to release the pelvis so it's not so tight. Well, the posture in belly dancing, which is very important, I'm surprised I didn't put that right at the beginning, but it's really important, is that you want to have a relaxed pelvis because all the movement is in here. If the pelvis is too forward, which is kind of, I notice when I go to the grocery or if I'm waiting, I tend to push my pelvis forward. So I kind of have like a sailboat going on. It's bowing. It's just like forward, which is not a very pretty thing to do, and it's really not good for your posture. So you want to always kind of bring your pelvis kind of underneath the rib cage and kind of relaxed. Okay, so when I say relaxed, I'm not arching back like this. It's just in a nice neutral position. My legs are soft, and then I try to always keep this a little bit more open. Okay, because if it's kind of crunched in too much, I find that it's kind of limiting my space in here. But if I lift this up, I have a little bit more space and range of motion. Okay, so the way I do this, I breathe and expand in all directions. And as I breathe out, I relax the belly, but I try to keep this expansion in here. Okay, and then the shoulders are relaxed. Okay, they're not droop forward, they're just relaxed back. And I always do the L, and this is part of dance kinesis, and this is a part of a certification that I'm working really hard with the ballroom dancing, is posture too. But this really helps me to kind of keep myself in a nice, good posture. Because when my chin is up, I feel like everything kind of goes back to a nice, correct posture. Okay? So I'll put this here. I'm not like this, I'm like this. Okay, and relax the pelvis. Good. Don't forget to breathe. Going back to this side. Okay, so breathe in, expand, relax the pelvis. Make sure it's underneath the rib cage, not forward, not back. Underneath the rib cage, soften the knees. We're gonna drop that left hip by bending that left knee and then go up. So we're gonna go with the counts again, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Switch, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and switch, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Now we could alternate. So we're focusing on one side, let's alternate. Let's go down, and so now we're going to go up, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Notice when you alternate, one knee is straight, the other one is flexed. That leg is straight, the hip is up, and that knee that's flexed, the hip is down. So this is in classical pose. Let's go. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Now you're doing your hip lifts, and obviously you're doing the drops too, but the focus is on the lift. Up, 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 up. Now this little hip lift, eventually, when the momentum and the speed is a little bit faster, it goes to a nice loose hip shimmy. So if we go faster, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So now we're doing a nice relaxed hip shimmy. It has its, it's not chalky or too fast. It has a nice rhythm. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, okay? You want to keep that constant right, left, right, left. Okay, so it's not, okay, it has a constant nice rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So from hip lift, nice and slow, to a loose hip shimmy. So we're doing this all in the basic pose. Now let's go into a classical pose. Let's put the weight on the left, right heel off the floor. Good. And again, you notice the foot is not too far. It's just close to the other leg, okay? So you could soften the standing leg a little bit. Make sure you keep that pelvis underneath the rib cage. It's not off or forward. Put it underneath the rib cage. Breathe in, expand, don't forget. Keep this nice and up. Relax the shoulders, relax your jaw. L shape. Good, and this is a bit tucked in. Let's go with that hip lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your arm out. Bring that arm up. Good. Ta, ta. It's up, it's up, it's up, it's up. Excellent. And we're going to switch. So I'm really working just the muscles in here. I'm not doing anything in the glutes. That's going to be for later. Sometimes I use the accents in the glutes to kind of make it sharper. Right now it's nice and relaxed. So we're going to switch. Same thing. Bring your arm out to the side. Lift, 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 lift. So my foot doesn't go. It stays anchored. And all I'm doing is put a little bit pressure on the ball of the foot and hip up. I don't overextend the knee. Okay, there's a little range of motion going in the knee, but it's not that much. Left, right arm with the standing leg up. Good. Now we're going to practice this with music. You ready? Okay, start with the basic pose. So if you want, you can start softening the knees. And now let's start with the right hip, lift and switch. Don't forget, breathe in, expand the top line. And right, left. Now let's go into a classical pose. Start with the right heel off the floor, and 1, 2. Seven, switch, 8. Do 7 and then switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, switch, 8. Switch. Now let's do 4. So do 3. 1, 2, 3. Switch on 4. 1, 2, 3. Switch 4. And 1, 2, 3. Switch 4. And 1, 2, 3. Switch 4. Now 1. You're going to switch on 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now keep your arms to the side because we're going to go a bit faster. Get ready? Lift. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, now let's go to that loose hip shimmy. Soften the knees. Lift, 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 lift. Right, left, right. And then a bit faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so now let's go flat foot in basic pose, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 7, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Excellent. All right, now let's go to the next one, the drops. Just like the hip lifts, we're going to have 2 poses. The basic and the classical. Basic pose. Legs are straight. Relax your jaw. L shape. Breathe, expand. Breathe out from the belly. Release the pelvis. Nice and relaxed. Now at any time if you find that, oh, my back is hurting, stretch it out. Just go down, stretch, relax your head, shake it out, and roll it up nice and slow. Always kind of pulling from the belly and also from the heel, pushing up. So now we're going to go into our hip drops. you could bring the hands on the hips so you could feel that hip going down. So like I was saying with the hip lift, in order for it to go down, the knee has to flex, and then you could lift. Well, now we're going to focus on the drop. So that's going to be easy. When that knee flexes, the hip drops naturally. Let's do 8 of the. Let's do 8 of those. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Single, right, left, drop, 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 drop. Good. Drop, 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 drop. Basic pose, hip drops. Now we're going to go into our classical. Again, standing leg. It's going to be your left. Bring your left arm up. Beautiful line. Heel off the floor. And this arm just goes like your basic pose. We're going to start with the lift first. And drop. And drop. And drop. And drop. And drop. So you want to focus on the drop. You're going to lift and then just release. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch 8. Now there's a nice little hip drop kick that we do in our belly dancing. So on every second drop, you're going to do a little kick. And it's still a drop. So you're going to go lift, drop, lift. Now that second drop, you're going to drop, but you're going to pretend like somebody kind of hit the back of your foot and you kind of just slip. That's all. So it's not a strong kick. It's just a lift, a drop, and just kind of let it go. And 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and switch. Whew. So at any time, if you feel like you're putting too much pressure on your hip, shake it out and come back to this. I want you to listen to your body. It's really, really important that you listen to your body. You don't have to do everything exactly. Take a little break and then come back. Really important, okay? So I want you to have fun with this. And in order to have fun, you want to listen to your body. Okay, you're going to lift, drop, lift, drop, every second drop. And 1, and 2, 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 and 1, and 2. Shake it out. Basic pose, hip drop, right start, 1, switch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hip drop, just drops, no kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, switch. So I kind of always like to switch on the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold. Now we're going to try and do that hip drop kick on every second drop. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, switch. So you're not going to do a hip drop on 8. So it's always going to be on the even numbers that you're going to do your drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, switch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold. Nice. Okay, so another thing I'd like to go through is that we did our hip lifts, our hip drops, and now I want you to focus on the pelvis. So we're going to focus on using the whole pelvis area. We're going to do that lift and drop just like we did in the warm-up. So, but I want you to really emphasize on the lift. So when you're lifting, you kind of pull in the belly and contracting the lower belly to lift and tuck the pelvis underneath. The back gets really long, and then when you drop the pelvis, there's a little arch, like a little bit more, and then you're using the muscles in here. Now, if that's uncomfortable, don't go too far. Okay, so don't tilt too far back. Just go back to neutral position. Again, you got to listen to your body. It's very important. We're going to go and lift. And then once you do that lift, you release. You could go into neutral, or if you're able to go a little bit more back, go ahead. Okay? So you're going to go lift and release. Try to use the glutes muscle this time. Try to really use the contraction of the lower belly, the pelvic or the pelvic floor. You're going to pull in and then release. Pull in, contract, and then release. We're focusing on the drop, okay? The lift is the contraction, and that's going to be like the and the counts will be the drop. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Now let's focus on the lift. So this time the counts will be on the lift. So you relax, you contract. 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. So we're going to focus mostly on the drops. We're going to put some music on, and let's get to it. You ready? Basic pose. Start with the right for 8 counts. Drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 1. Switch. 2. Switch. Single, right, left. Into our classical pose. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, switch, 8. You drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, switch. Now let's add that drop kick. 1, kick, 2, 3, kick, 4, 5, kick, 6, 7, switch, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, switch. Let's do it again. Kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pelvic. And we're going to focus on the drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want you to see me. Focus on the drop. And now, let's do the lift. Lift, contract. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drop. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, up, contract, release. 2, 3, 4, down for 2, drop, and lift, drop, lift. Good. All right, so now we're ready for the belly. The belly. In this section, we're gonna hold the belly, the whole wall of your belly, but before we do, posture. Let's go back to the posture, and I'm gonna do that all the time because we tend to forget. So we're gonna expand, we're gonna breathe in, and then breathe out from the belly. So as you breathe in, I want you to focus on the lungs, not just in front, but in the side and in the back. I want you to expand the lungs in every direction, just like an air balloon, yeah? So breathe in. Breathe out from the belly. L shape. Good. Relax the pelvis. But do not hold your breath. With these little muscle contraction that we'll be doing towards the abdominal wall, I want you to breathe normally. No special breathing, but just don't forget to breathe. We tend to kind of hold our breath when we work the belly, and that's normal. But we're going to work the muscles. So we're going to contract the whole wall of the belly towards the spine. So all the way underneath the sternum, all the way down to the pelvic floor. I want you to contract like somebody's tightening your corset. Don't even more about the breathing, but breathe. Just contract, 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 contract as tight as you can. Breathe. Contract the muscles. And then I want you to expand the muscles. Now this is the part that's probably the hardest. You're going to work the muscles and you're going to go outward as much as you can. Expand, expand. Almost like you're almost pregnant. Expand. I want you to work those muscles in both directions. Really expand. But be careful not pushing your pelvis, okay? So keep the pelvis underneath your rib cage. Now contract the belly in towards your spine, all the way in, and then go as much out as you can. Keep the breathing. Contract the muscles into your spine and push away from the spine. Pull it in, pull it out. Inward and then outward. Inward and then outward. Inward, don't forget to breathe, and then outward. 2 more. Inward and then outward. So that's the whole wall of the belly we're working. So this will also, in the next session, we're going to divide this belly in 2 and kind of work different sections. But for now on, I want you to really focus on contracting the muscles inward and outward. That's going to be our little this little exercise you have to do during the week. You could do this anytime, when you're sitting, when you're driving, when you're waiting in line, you know. So if you have a jacket or, you know, you won't see that expansion. So now we're going to go and work the top, and then we're almost done. The top, we're going to do the lift and drop. So in order to lift the rib cage, you need to work the opposite side. So you need to contract the muscles in the back of the muscle, the top, where the shoulder blades are. So right on the top of the back. When you squeeze the muscles right in here, bringing the shoulders in but downward. Okay, you want to contract in and then kind of down. What happens is that this automatically lifts the chest. Because we want to kind of use the shoulders, but the shoulders doesn't do anything. Look, when I lift my shoulders, my chest is not moving. But if I use the muscles in my back, I contract my upper back, it helps to lift. And this kind of stretches, okay? The abdominal wall here stretches as I contract my traps, the trapezius muscles pulling downward, the upper back. Okay? So that's your lift. Okay, and your drop, you just relax. But if you really want to do even more of a drop, you contract the top of the muscles here. Kind of pull it in, like somebody punch you in the belly, but make sure you don't round your shoulders too much. Okay, so lift and drop. Lift and drop. Lift and drop. And then we got the shoulders. We got the shoulders that lifts. We did this in the warm-up, and then drop. Lift and drop. lift, and drop. Now if you focus only on the lift, you're going to bring your shoulder up, and then the other one, release, up, and release. So now we could do like little shoulder lift shimmy. So you could go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay? Now with the drop, that's a fun one. You're going to start with the lift, and then you could just drop, lift, drop, and drop. So you really want to, this is going to contract, but then just let the gravity take over and just relax. And drop, and drop, and drop, and drop, and drop, and drop. So let's put this together with some music. We're going to work the belly, the chest, the shoulders. Okay, let's start with the chest lift. We're going to go 1, release, 2, and 4, 5. In basic pose. Now shoulder lifts. Lift, lift, alternate, right, left, alternate, right, left, right. Now be faster, right, left, right, left, right, left. Good, now belly pull, in, push, out, in, out, contract, release, contract, release, and in, out, in. So the whole wall of your belly, in and out, pull in, push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, in, out. Notice my spine kind of stays straight. I'm not moving anything else but the contraction of the belly. Now I'm going to focus on the drop. Lift first and then drop. And drop. So like a puppeteer, pull the thread up and then let it go. Drop. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shoulder drop. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Now the only thing that's missing right now is the traveling. So we did everything in a standing on the spot position. Now we're going to start learning to travel. Remember in the beginning when we did the releve, we went on releve, and again I said if you have a hard time with your ankles and you can't go on releve, you could just stay flat foot. We're going to walk flat foot to begin with. So we're going to go 3 walks. Actually, no. Let me just show you how to do weight sensing first. Right now you should feel your weight on both feet because it's really important, because sometimes we forget that we're in our head and sometimes we forget to be in our body. So I want you to feel the weight on your feet. Do you feel your feet? I mean, do you feel where the weight is? Do you feel if your knees are locked and then you're putting the weight more on the outside edge, which is what I'm feeling right now? But if I soften my knees a little bit, oh, I feel it more inside and I feel it more on the arch. Okay, I'm putting myself, and that's a good center balance, where I kind of put my whole body on the arch. And that is actually the strongest point in your feet, right on the arch. Okay, so that's where your body should be, just like a tripod. So we're going to go and feel where our weight are. And now we're going to try and put the weight on one foot. Let's say you bring your left foot off the floor and put all the weight on the right. Okay, so now you're sensing that, okay, all my weight is on my right foot. Now I'm going to switch. Nice on both feet. And now all on the left. Okay. We're going to alternate. And we're going to do this on 2 counts. We're going to go 1, 2, switch, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But make sure you're not going too far. Try to keep yourself centered. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Let's walk around. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So now you're walking on every 2 counts. Now let's walk on every single count. You ready? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. walk around, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So now we're going to do this on releve. Again, if you can't, stay flat. Releve, make sure you keep your feet anchored, heels up, stay there. All you're doing is flexing the foot. 1, 2. So the weight is on the ball of your feet, the 2 points. Okay? The ball of your feet, and you alternate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Walk around. 1, 2, 3. Keep your heel anchored. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go every single count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So you walk on single counts, and then you walk on 2 counts, which is called a half time. Now we're going to go and walk on releve. Now again, if you don't want to walk on releve, that's fine. But for those who can, you're going to go on releve, single counts 3 times, and then go down on 4. And then back on releve. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to hold the 3 counts and then roll that foot down. 1, 2, 3, roll down on 4. 1, 2, 3, bring it down on 4. So let me go so you can see my feet on the spot. Okay, now you're going to put all the weight on the left so you can step on the right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now all the weight is on the right foot, and then roll down on the heel. And now you're going to go left, right, left, hold here, roll down. 1, 2, 3, roll down. 1, 2, 3, roll down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for those who are flat foot, hope you can see that, yeah? For those who are flat foot, same thing. So put all your weight on the left. All you're going to do is 1, 2, 3. You don't have to roll down because you're not releve, but you hold on 4 and you switch. 1, 2, 3, hold 4. 1, 2, 3, hold 4. 1, 2, 3, hold 4. Walk around now. 1, 2, 3, hold 4. 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 You stay flat foot, releve. For those of you who want to go on releve, let's do it now. 1, 2, 3, roll down. 1, 2, 3, roll down. Up, 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 down. Up, 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 down. Up, 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 down. Up, 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 down. All right, if you want to try this with music, let's do this with a maximum rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, ta, ta, boom, ta. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the maximum rhythm. The dooms are on 1 and 3. So the dooms are usually hit on the middle of the doom back, the drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now let's go and walk in place. Right. 1, 2. One, two, three. On releve if you want. Now single count. 1, 2, 3. Hold 4. 1, 2, 3. Hold 4. Walk around. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Now you can say it like this. You could go on releve. Down, up, 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 down, up, 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 down, up, 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 tap. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. Now let's walk slow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single counts. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. You did it! Yay! Okay, I know that was a long video, but that's tutorial. Now, I want you to just relax, and one of the things I'd like you to do is just hold on. What we're going to do, I want you to grab a floor mat, and we're going to do a nice little meditation. We're going to do a little stretch first, and then the meditation, because that was a lot of material that you received. So I really want you to not be too much in your head. I want you to kind of just relax. And I made this little meditation, guided meditation to kind of help you to be in your body, but at the same time to reclaim your youth. Yes, you know, there's a little affirmation there that probably going to help you to kind of just, you know, remember that you're as young as you think. So grab your floor mat, let's do a little stretch and meditate on that. So before we start, let's do a little stretch. So one of the things I like to do as my stretch, I like to go to my side. Okay, actually, I don't think I need this anymore. So I want you to bring your left leg in front and the other one in the back. So it's kind of like a zigzag. Let me just get this thing out of the way here. And we're going to start with kind of lifting the hip towards the front and then kind of sit back. Forward and then back. Which is kind of stretching the psoas muscle, which is like the soul muscle, because it's one of the deepest muscles in our body. But we use it a lot in belly dancing in our day-to-day life. So this is kind of a nice little stretch for it. And then we're going to just bring that hip forward and we're going to bring that chest down. Okay, so if you want to, I like to rest it on my knee. You could just leave it like this. I'm going to bring it all the way down. And I'm just going to hold it here for a couple seconds. Just breathe into it. Release all the tension to your thigh. And slowly bring it up. I'm going to repeat on the other side. Okay, bring your left leg back. It's kind of a zigzag. And bring the hip towards the front. And then towards the back. Towards the front. So you're going to feel a nice stretch. And that psoas muscle is attached from the spine all the way towards the front of the pelvis down to your femur bone. Your thigh bone. One more. And again, we're going to just keep that hip towards the front. Bring your chest. Hold it here. Stretching the right glute. I'm going to bring it all the way down. And stretching the side of the right thigh. And bring it in. All right, so we're going to do one more thing, and that's going to be going on your back. I'm just going to relax the knees up, heels and foot flat forward. I want you to breathe in. Now I want you to bring your arms over your head. Take your time. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, try to bring your belly, the button towards the spine. Kind of flatten the back, tuck the pelvis in. And then release. Okay. Now you could stay like this, or you could go all the way down. And now let's get ready for the meditation. Now take a deep breath in. Into your lungs. Expand. Release. Deep breath in into your belly. Expand. Release. Now go all the way down to your toes. Contract and flex really tight. Really tight. And release. Now would you contract your calves. Squeeze your muscles. And release. Now contract your hamstring and your quads. Contract the legs really tight. And release. Now squeeze your glutes. Contract the buttocks. Really, really tight. Keep squeezing. Yes. And release. Now contract your belly. Pull the navel right into the spine. Contract, contract. Squeeze. And release. Now squeeze your shoulder blades. Try to bring them close together. Squeeze. And release. And now your shoulders. Bring your shoulders all the way up to the ears. Squeeze. And then release. Long neck. Yes. Now your arms. Contract the bicep and the tricep. Contract the top arms nice and tight. And relax. Now put your hands in a fist and squeeze, squeeze, and squeeze the forearms. And then let it go. Now I want you to squeeze your lips together nice and tight. Squeeze the jaw, be tight. Then let it go, relax. Now frown, frown. Squeeze the eyebrows together. And release. Just feel the relaxation in your body. Be in your body. Now it's time for your beautiful affirmation. I want you to have a vision of yourself as the dancer that's within you, but also see the youth in you. As you have that vision, repeat this affirmation in your head. And now realize that within me is a spiritual joy body, ever young, ever beautiful. I have a beautiful mind, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and skin. The divine youth body, which in this moment, here and now, is perfect. Know that the divine alchemist is within you. Deep breath in and breathe out. Now put a smile on your face. Slowly open your eyes. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you in the next video, which is a practice video of everything you learned in this tutorial. So you have a great day, and thank you so much for dancing and learning with me. Happy day and happy dancing.